Hi guys, my name is Amy Wyckoff and I am the premier team leader of Team Positively Posh. I joined Perfectly Posh in September of 2012, which means I am past the 3-year mark with the company. I am a member of Terry Berry's downline. I'm a few levels down in her family tree, but Terry happens to be one of my all-time favorite human beings on the planet, and so it is my honor and privilege to be sharing this training with you tonight. We are going to be discussing personal branding, and I'm going to be giving you a hefty side dose of a topic I refer to as social media sabotage. And if that sounds a little scary, it should. It is a problem that is rampant in direct sales, and so we're going to hit it head on. I'm going to preface this training with a little bit of background information about myself. I am a wife and mother to 4 beautiful children. And prior to leaving my career to stay home and homeschool one of our children who has developmental delays, I worked in marketing. And it is my history in marketing which makes me so passionate about this topic. And because of my passion, I'm going to also say to you that I hope you will take this training with a grain of salt. You may think everything I'm about to say is common sense. And for you, if it is, fantastic. Unfortunately, I think there are some things that need to be said, that need to be taught, that need to be, we need to be made aware of in order to help us grow our businesses and be more successful. So let's jump right into personal branding. You know, embodying posh is so much more than logo wear or a vinyl on our car. You know, I'll be the first to admit, look at me, see? I have on my Perfectly Posh Premier jacket that I bought at PremierCon. I love it. I wear my logo wear pretty much every day. Yes, I have a vinyl on the back of my car. But when we accept our roles as representatives of Posh, when we become consultants with Perfectly Posh, we need to be cognizant of the fact that everything we do and say and our behaviors can potentially impact our businesses. We're not just selling soap and lotion. We're not just helping women pamper themselves. We are branding ourselves every single day with everything we do, everything we say, everything we post on social media. Now, let's go back to the logo wear for a second. Perfect example, we wear our logo wear, we love our logo wear, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best, easiest ways to brand yourself. If you don't have any logo wear, get yourself some. Get yourself lots of it. The portal's a fantastic resource for that. But are you one of those people who rolls out of bed in the morning and takes their kids to school or goes to the grocery store and just doesn't really give much care or much thought to how you appear? Maybe you don't bother to wipe the mascara off from last night and it's all looky up under your eye. Yeah, looking it up is probably a word somewhere in the dictionary. I don't know. Maybe you take that messy bun just a little bit too far, or maybe you're one of those people who goes out to Walmart in your pajama bottoms. That's fine. You are allowed to do those things. That's great. But I want you to stop and think about what happens if you are wearing your pajama bottoms and your super messy bun and your makeup from the night before is rolling off your face and you have on a piece of poshwear. Now, I am the last person who will tell you not to wear your logo wear. Wear it, wear it, wear it, live it, love it. It's the best stuff in the world. But think of the connection those people are making. We sell a pampering product. We are about taking care of yourself. We're about skincare. We are about making women feel empowered. So if you roll out of bed and you head to Walmart or you head to your kid's school in your pajama bottoms and your slippers and your messy bun and your face is a mess from the night before, what's the impression those people are getting? So if you're going to do those things, that's fine. Go ahead, wear whatever you want. Leave the logo wear in the back of the closet, okay? Save it for the days when you've actually done your hair, done your makeup, and you're feeling really good about yourself. That's just a little piece of advice. Take it for what it's worth. Same thing with the vinyls on the back of your car. If you are anything like me, and maybe show of hands, road rage, yeah, I have absolutely terrible road rage. I admit it, I know it, I own it. Many times I have said to myself, you really need to get the vinyl off the back of that car because of my road rage. You have to stop and think about those behaviors. If you are in traffic and somebody's making you really angry and you start weaving in and out of the lanes and you whip in front of them, and maybe you're one of those people who has to seek revenge when somebody cuts you off, or maybe you use inappropriate hand gestures to share your dismay at people's behavior on the roads, you have to stop and realize that even subconsciously, those people around you on the road, the person who you just cut off in traffic, or the person who you just shared an inappropriate hand gesture with, they may not know you personally. They may not know Perfectly Posh, but they are going to remember what just happened on the road. They're going to see the logo on the back of your car, and they are going to subconsciously make that connection. So when you're doing those things, you're not just being a poor representation for yourself, you're representing our brand overall poorly. You're impacting all of us. Not to put the weight of the world on your shoulders, but it's true. We make a lot of subconscious connections in our daily life, and so that's something that I know I have to try very hard to behave appropriately in my car. But just things I want you to think about. Even if you are like me and you live in a state where you're not allowed to have mobile devices in your hand while you're driving. We are not allowed to talk on our phones in Illinois. We're not allowed to text. We can't be looking at maps on our phones. If I am doing those things in public in my car, so I'm openly breaking the law where people can see that, they see that logo on the back of the car, and that's the connection they make. That's something that I think a lot of us don't think about. We don't realize, besides the fact that it's very dangerous, and that's why we have those laws. But we do those things, and we don't truly understand how easy it is for us to be opening ourselves up to judgment. So take those little ideas, those little scenarios with a grain of salt, again, and think about how you may be negatively impacting your personal branding in your daily life. Moving on to social media. This is a big, big topic for me, and yes, I do call it social media sabotage because I see it happen absolutely every single day. Social media, Facebook specifically, is amazing. Most of our business now is focused on social media. We use the term social marketers now. Things have changed, but when we are building our businesses via social media, we have to really build those businesses the same way we would in the old days. We have to build relationships. We have to make people come to know us and love us and appreciate us and respect us and trust us. And we have to do that via social media because that's the major outlet we have for personal branding now. And that sounds kind of big and kind of scary, I get it. But a lot of what I'm about to say should be common sense. And if it's not, and if it hits home to you, I hope you will take something away from this and be able to evaluate your own behaviors and how those behaviors may be negatively impacting your business. We're going to start off with a hot button topic, and that is politics. Well, politics, religion, and just about anything else under those categories. We are, for the most part, a business full of very passionate women. And as women who are passionate, we also tend to have very, very strong opinions. Again, I own it. I am incredibly opinionated. Ask Terry, I'm probably one of the most opinionated people she knows. I'm very opinionated, and I am very strong-willed, and I am extremely, extremely politically active, politically aware, and I have very strong opinions about things like religion and healthcare and education and all those things. But you will never see me post anything about those topics on social media. And here's why. Every single solitary time I make a Facebook post, I put a picture on Instagram, I tweet something, anything of that, my opinion that is being seen by at least, is open to at least the 900 plus people on my Facebook wall, I am potentially alienating 50% of my customers and my potential customers with anything that I say. Stop and think about that. The vast majority of the people that we connect with via social media on a daily basis do not necessarily have the exact same opinions and beliefs that you do. And that's okay. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions. Everybody's allowed to have their own beliefs. But as social marketers, we need to stop and realize that every single time we post something, we could be alienating ourselves from potential customers or current customers. Perfect example. Say, for instance, you have gone to your local pizza place and you have received horrendous service, like the worst service you've ever had in your life. It is our natural instinct to hop on Facebook and post a negative review and trash that restaurant and name the waitress who gave you bad service and do all these things because emotionally it feels good to get that stuff out and to have your friends like your post or comment that maybe they had the same bad thing or maybe they'll never go there because you had such a bad experience. That seems like a really good way to vent your frustrations. But I want you to stop and think for just one moment. How do you know that the manager of that restaurant isn't the uncle of your absolute best posh customer? You don't know. You don't know. These are the types of things that we have to stop and think about every day as social marketers. These are the types of things that can make or break us when it comes to our personal branding. Another thing with social media, I find that the negativity is absolutely rampant. People love to get on Facebook and talk about how horrible their day was, how their job's awful, or how their dog made a mess, or their kid got sent home from school, or their mother-in-law is the worst person in the world, or, oh, I have a headache, or my back hurts, or all of these things constantly. And we all know those people. We all have those friends where every single thing that they post via social media, everything that they share is negative. Or even better, those lovely passive-aggressive Facebook statuses. Ooh, those are wonderful. Stop and think about that. If you're trying to build relationships with customers and potential customers, is that the person you want them to see? Is that the kind of person that's going to make them go, wow, she's really pleasant. I can't wait to buy a face wash from her. Guys, even if they don't consciously make a decision to not buy from you, I can guarantee you that subconsciously every single one of those negative posts, every single one of those politically charged memes that you post, every single one of those statements could potentially come back and bite you. Now, it's your life. It's your social media accounts. You can choose to do with them whatever you want. But I have been asked numerous times by people, not necessarily posh sisters, but people who are friends of mine who also are in direct sales. And they'll come to me and they'll say, I just don't get it. You've had so much success. You had no experience with direct sales when you started in this business. And here you've built this wonderful team and you're traveling all over the place and you've done so well. Like, how did you do that? And I have to stop myself from looking at them and saying, I don't fill my social media with inappropriate, nasty, negative posts. Even something as simple as your language. It's really easy to get on Facebook and maybe jokingly let foul language seep in. Maybe you're somebody who loves an F-bomb. And again, I own it. Terry will tell you, I personally have a horrible potty mouth. I do. I own it. I'm the youngest of 8 kids. I have 5 older brothers. I cuss like a sailor, but I don't do it on social media. I don't do those things where my business could be negatively impacted. What I guess my point is, what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to do those things, if you are going to share your events, if you're going to cuss, if you're going to do any of those things, that's okay. But do it within the privacy of your own home. Call your best friend and tell her how awful your day was. Yell at your dog if your dog makes a mess on the floor. If you need to drop an F-bomb, do it privately. Don't do it all over your social media accounts, guys, because those things really can come back to haunt you. I'm going to go back to my notes because I have a bunch of them. Instagram. I love Instagram. I don't use it very much. I tend to look at Instagram, but I don't post a lot of my own pictures because I'm really self-conscious about that stuff. But I cannot tell you how many of my direct sales friends, again, not necessarily saying posh sisters, love to get on Instagram and post drunken photos of themselves having a big old party. Guys, most of us probably are not college kids. Most of us probably aren't out getting drunk all the time. And if you are, fine. That's your choice again. I'm not here to judge you, but I'm here to tell you that if you post those pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever, they are going to some way, shape, or form impact your business. And chances are it's not going to be in a positive way. I'm talking a whole lot about the don'ts, and I'm going to get to some do's here real quick, but a couple don'ts I also have to do, and this is probably the biggest one of them all. If you are one of these people that does this, please, 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 I'm begging you, stop. There is another direct sales company out there that has been instructing its people to add individuals into Facebook groups and Facebook events without their permission. If you're doing that because you've seen other sellers do it, stop it now. Please stop. Nothing will alienate customers and potential customers faster than putting people into groups that they don't want to be a part of. Okay. As far as do's, look, I don't want to scare you guys away. Social media is great, but it should be an outlet for the positives in your life. It should be an outlet where you're sharing the positives in your business as well as the positives in your personal life. It should be a means of you not saying, hey, I'm trying to reach my goal, please help me, because nobody wants to listen to people beg. But it should be a means for you to say, I just got this fabulous new face mask. Let me do a video and show you how it feels, what it smells like, what the experience is like, what it means to me to take a few minutes out of my day to pamper myself. Those are the types of things, those are the types of social media engagements that are going to positively impact your business. Those are the types of things where you will be making connections and building relationships. You know, you may have a customer who's kind of a pain. We all have those. But remember to go ahead and send them a shout out to thank them for their orders. Maybe it's something as simple as remembering to post thank yous on their birthdays. Just say, hey, happy birthday, thanks for being a customer. Or you know what, better yet, just happy birthday. Not everything about your social media life has to be related to your business. And the things that you do with social media that are not related to your business, we need to be smart. We need to make sure that what we are doing isn't alienating customers and potential customers. I keep using that phrase, but it is so, so very important. All it takes is 10 seconds to stop before you post something and say to yourself, is this potentially good for my business or is this potentially bad for my business? If it's something that could alienate a lot of people, I would strongly encourage you to think twice and just walk away and not post it. Okay? I'm going to look real quick. I think I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to. I'm going to stay under 20 minutes. Yay! Hopefully YouTube will let me upload this video. Guys, go ahead and start getting your questions together. I will be back on at 9 o'clock Eastern to answer those questions. Again, thank you for watching. I hope that you take this with the intention that it was meant, and that is to just make you guys think a little bit more about your personal branding and how what you're doing every day, especially via social media, can be impacting your business. And thanks, guys. Have a great one. Bye.